everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with layout number 5 out of the 42 that I completed at the crop. Now, you may have noticed that most of, I think all of them, all of the page kits that I brought were from scraps. And that is probably one of my favorite ways to scrap, because when you get into making the page, you just look at what you have and you don't have to worry about, how am I going to cut this paper or how am I going to cut that paper. They're already, into scraps. So when I looked at this, I had two fairly big strips at, I think they were about 5 by 12. And when I put them side by side, I didn't like the way that it looked. But if I put one partway up the page on one side and partway up the page on the other side, then all of a sudden I kind of liked the way that it looked, and then it gave me a perfect place to add my photos to the layout. So I glued them down, and I don't measure them, I just glue them down, and then I'm going to take my scissors and just cut the excess off the page. Now, once that is done, I think I have a scrap of black cardstock here, and I'm going to mat my photos on that black cardstock. But look at that green pattern paper there with the sort of grid on it. Is about 8 by 8, I would say, or 8 by 7 or something like that. And it fits perfectly. And then when I take my two photos and I put them on that cardstock, it's like I meant it to be for those photos. It was just the perfect size. So these are photos of us washing our truck. And that is just sort of, if you will, a tradition. Is before we go on vacation, we clean up our truck, and then when we are on vacation, a lot of times when we end up where we end up, it's usually muddy, in the middle of nowhere. So our truck gets dusty. So then the first time that we get to like a town, then we will go through a car wash and wash our truck. And in the summertime, it's something that I do almost weekly or bi-weekly. I will go and go through the truck, and if there's any garbage, I'll get rid of it. We try to bring it in, when we get home from wherever we go, but sometimes, it gets missed. So I will pick up the garbage, and then I have, in our trailer, I have a vacuum that you can take away sort of like the big part of it, and then just put an adapter on it that you can use it so that you can go to your vehicle and clean it out. So I will take that and I will vacuum out our truck. I try to keep up on it, and even like there's even a time where we went to one of Mason's game, and there was like an hour and a half in between the two games. And while we were waiting, I always go out to the truck, and I just I always have Lysol wipes in the truck. So I just went and I just clean it up, and then I take the Lysol wipes and I kind of clean the inside. So I always try to keep up on that. And then if it's a really bad winter and there's a lot of salt on our carpets and stuff, with the new truck, it seems to be better because the mats that we have really cover a lot of our carpets. But with our SUV, if it got really bad over the winter, then once a year we would bring it and get it professionally cleaned. And then it was like kind of hitting the refresh button. Okay, so I matted those two photos with that black cardstock, and now I'm working on the embellishment clusters. And, I cut the viewfinders in 2, even though these are from our digital prints and I can reprint them really easy. I don't like to waste. So, whether it's labels or the viewfinders, if I'm not going to see all of it, I will cut it in half and then use it in a different embellishment cluster on the same page. And then I already had my title already done before I went to the crop. I think I did 33 layouts that I had the journaling done and the titles. I didn't have a chance to do all 47 or 48, but it was a good amount. So, out of 42 layouts, I only have under 10 that doesn't have any journaling on. So that should be fairly easy for me to get those journaled on. I haven't done it yet. Actually, all the layouts are still in the big baggies that I have, because what I do is on the way home, I put all the layouts. This time it took me 3 baggies. And then probably next week, I will go through them and I will put them in albums because most of those layouts are already journaled. Another thing that I've already done since coming home is I've already gone through the scraps that were left for, those 42 layouts. And believe me, there was a lot of scraps. Even though, I'm putting a lot on each layout, there's still a lot of scraps left. But I went through those scraps and I said, you know what? I've, made pages with these very recently, but I'm going to make pages with them right away. So for my Patreons, or for my patrons over on Patreon, for the month of November, because there was 5 Tuesdays, so we ended up with 9 page kits, and I made all 9 page kits using the scraps of papers, but not only that, using the scraps of the embellishments. So I've just put my little journaling card here on my layout, and again, because my journaling was already pre-done, it was so quick to just do the journaling. And even though it was really loud and people were chatting, and sometimes, I was chatting too, so I didn't have to think. I just copied what I had already written down. Now, the things that I found that helped me a lot with getting 42 pages done was having my titles done and making sure that the die cuts, so my digital prints, are cut out. So that is definitely 2 things that I'm going to incorporate in making my page kits for my next crop. So that's it. That's going to complete this layout. And if you enjoy this, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.